right there. I will be right there. Y'all better be there when I get back. Y'all best still be there when I get back. Oh, y'all still here? Hey. Yeah, it's so crazy how people do. What's up? Natasha, what's up, sugar? Fix me a plate. I said I was gonna do seafood, but I ended up making that shoulder last night. So we'll do seafood maybe when the shoulder's done. I did it Beria style. I made a pepper, blended up the peppers and the stuff like that, and poured it over. Y'all know I'm always doing something. I feel like I want to get on here and read to people, but you know I don't want to go into a negative dark space with getting on here and reading people, because some people get up on their damn screens. Some people get on these damn screens and get them thumbs moving. I'm so excited. It was so good yesterday. I've been thinking about it all day. People get on their screens and just be rude. The one girl got in the comments and was just like, you know, we didn't ask for your life. Not me. She was responding to some other lady. The girl called me. She didn't call me. She said I was being. She said what I said was rooted in misogyny and white supremacy. First of all, if you've been here at the collective, you know the last thing I am is misogynistic. Let's start with that. Secondly, where is the white supremacy? She felt so founded in her statements that she began to defend it, and then start to disrespect the lady that simply had an opinion on what the fuck she said. And not even so much, she didn't, all she asked her, she said, the girl said I was misogynistic and white supremacist, which I'm more caught up on the white supremacist part. Didn't you see that, Natasha? I thought you was gonna get on there and just get to. I thought you might have a response for the man, for the people, and I just haven't responded. I just been laying in the bed and looking and laughing, and not responding because and this is because I was gonna respond to the girl because, like I said, comment space is open, safe space. The Kelly Collective is an open and safe space. Comment, voice your opinions, say how you feel, respect others, and we move on and we go from there. That's that. We're not doing too much nothing. We're not calling nobody names. We're not getting besides ourselves. We're not going our way to be disrespectful and rude. That's not welcome here. So when the girl said I was misogynistic and white supremacist, I was going to respond to her, but I waited. Then somebody did respond to her, and she said, we don't want to see baby mothers anymore, and that makes it misogynistic. So the girl responded to that. She started going off on the lady, talking about she didn't want to, get into her, she didn't need to hear about her life, because the lady was like, I'm a single mother. I'd rather do it with, with a partner. And the girl was like, oh, didn't nobody ask about your life and things like that? I wanted to be like, listen here, you little happy single motherfucker. I wanted to get in, but I said, I'm just not even gonna, because the conversation can go any kind of way. And I'll just let the girls hash it out themselves. But after a certain amount of comments, you get blocked. You get blocked, because I don't welcome that inside the space, okay? You will get blocked, and you can talk about it somewhere else or watch me on somebody else's shit, because I don't. That's not, you could talk about, the one lady said, here goes another man talking about what women shouldn't do, why do gays always feel like they have something to, things like that. I don't mind those comments. That's your opinion. We're all here to voice our opinions. Every opinions are like assholes, and everybody has one. And sometimes you might like it. much like your baby father. That's why you don't have him in your life anymore. And I don't want to get on there and do that to the people. I don't want to get on there and do that to the girls, because that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to inform, not open up the library. Okay? Hello, my beautiful friend, Holly. Hopefully you had a fabulous Sunday. I was going to ask them if they wanted to start. I didn't see that. I didn't see if you when you said that we miserable. Let me tell you why. All the people are gone, so it's just back to the regular folks. Let me tell you why. And that's the thing. The collective, you already know how I feel about it. We done been discussed. Thank you, Holly. You are equally so. We done already discussed what's going on. We done been discussing Kiki before she even was dressing like she might be pregnant. We had already discussed Kiki. She doing too much. She got too much going on. Discussed her in the same vein that I discussed Rihanna. Rihanna got too much going on. She moving and shaking. You just don't slow all of that down by getting pregnant. You just don't do that. And if you have options, you have resources. If Kiki, I don't know what her monologue says, and I could really care less. I could really care less about SNL or anybody that hosts it at this point because it's organized and orchestrated. But one of the commenters said that she got in there and talked about her abortion. Is that not in direct alignment with what the hell is going on? If Kiki gonna get on there as a young black professional, sophisticated, business-oriented, successful? If she gonna get on there and be those things, then address abortion after it's overturned, which brings people in, and then address, and then have a pregnancy without being married. And marriage is not even. That's not even the thing. People said you said that because she's not married. Marriage has nothing to do with it. You can have 15 kids with your husband and still end up a single parent. Either way. So marriage has nothing to do with it. But my focus is where she is in her career. Now she's doing things because of this situation, because of overturning Roe v. Wade, because of we need to see more black girls get pregnant and be out here and not be in committed relationships. Just set that whole standard. Like the girl who called me a misogynistic white supremacist. She obviously has experienced losing men, obviously if she thinks like that, losing men and thinking it's okay to be a single parent out here in the world. Not one body of the people that I know that hold it down with their kids and think of those people, none of them would prefer to do it single. Chazzo. None of them would prefer to do it single. Not one of them. So to sit and think that that's the idea, that's the standard, and it's okay, that's a skewed and misguided outlook on what you should expect from your life. I don't know. The lady said, speaking of peace, the lady said that she, I don't know, that's why they can get involved too, because it goes all ways, and I get to defend. And not that I didn't want to defend, I just wanted to shut the girl up. But she got into the comments, and the girl was responding to her, and then she just kind of dug herself in a hole. And it's like, okay, this is why I just don't get involved, But this is the thing too, New Eurekan, to the thing of men are crazy. Let me tell you about men. If you listen, that's like, oh, here goes a man with his opinions and things. Everybody's entitled to opinion. Y'all know me. These people that just came on board don't know. They just came in from outside. They wanted to sit at the dinner table and eat, but don't know what's being served. They don't know. Let me tell you. With my opinion, I do not come to be destructive. Absolutely don't. Y'all know I'm not misogynistic. Y'all know I support women, lift women up every single time, every day. Okay? But like opinions, everybody has one. And mine is founded in strictly the understanding of life. I feel like it's based on a good understanding of what life is. And if you sit and talk to a man, and he starts to voice his opinion, First off, let's be red flagged by the misogynistic ideas. Because misogyny would have been like, okay, yeah, now she's going to sit back and be barefoot and pregnant with this man, or she deserves to give him a bunch of kids, or some type of skewed perception. That would be misogynistic. But that's not where I come from at all, in any regard, at any point in time. But if you sit and talk to a man, sometimes there are red flags in his opinion. Red flags so much so that should be yellow lights in your head to be like, okay, this is not what I want to do. I might want to sit and lay with him for a night. You shouldn't even want to do that. But there's this idea, because of these shows and because of these artists and things like that, you think you got to lay down with somebody who acts like a Jay-Z, somebody who looks like a Rick Ross, somebody who moves around like a Meek Mill, things like that. Them might not be the niggas for you. But because that's what's shown, that's what you think you need. You're askew. And I'm not apologizing for my idea that says, do not go out here and think you want to be a single parent because you saw somebody else do it. And then rest in that. Like, not even try to change that. Your generational curses and all that stuff. And even whatever you perceive from the streets. Like, you should be like, no, that's not me. I remember being on the bus and the girl was pregnant. Y'all, she wasn't no older. She wasn't no older than 17. She wasn't no older than 17. In the summertime, July, on the bus, pregnant. And she was good showing. So she was between 7. She had to have been at least 7 months old. And let me tell you this, I know about kids, okay? I've been around kids, I've been around pregnant people. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm seeing. I know what I'm saying, okay? That's miserable. But she might think it's cute and cool because that's what she saw her friends do. Now, she lacking something at home to let her know that, honey, that's not okay. For you to be on the bus in sweltering heat, 7 months pregnant. By no means is that okay. By no means is that all right. By no means should that become the standard or acceptable across the board. The only way it's acceptable, and this is my thing, I'm trying to slow down because y'all know I'll shovel it in. Only way it's acceptable is if you have the support. There was a girl, it was my senior year, and this is for the new people, I've already discussed this. Let me tell you this too, it don't take time. You know, soon and very soon, you might, and if you act fast, you avoid the situation, and you might find out how extensive it was later on in life, because I'm experiencing that. I have experienced that. But you know soon. You know. Especially if you do put in time to be around a person. Now, if you just strictly, he's just texting you and you're only meeting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, that's a red flag. You don't need to spend 3 years to try to figure out how bad that person is. He was never good from the beginning. And that's the thing. It's so ingrained that's fairy tales, Cinderella, all the fucking fairy tales thing. Oh, we're waiting on Prince Charming, or whether he's a African prince or whatever, or somebody's going to come sweep us off our feet as a woman or a man, because, you know, and that's the thing too. I experienced the sweeping off the feet thing. Don't you come and sweep me off my feet. I need to give you a hard time. I need you to give me a hard time. I need to understand it. If we're going to make it through the hard times in the beginning, this, that, and the third, get that shit, get straight to it, because I don't have no pussyfooting to do, because that pussyfooting is where the problems happen, okay? And that's how people end up out here pregnant. Because you think you in love 1 week. You hadn't even spoken to him the week before. It's skewed. It's wrong. It's not. We need to change that. If you have a young girl with you, if you have a young girl amongst you, change that for that young lady, and encourage that young man to be vocal and to be responsible with what he does. Because first of all, pregnancy is a two-way street. So men out here, and then the woman, of course, she bears a child, so she has a responsibility of caring for, but she could drop the child off at a thing. Somebody, you know, and that's the thing, people out here want kids, and some people out here can't have kids. Also, too, and you know, first of all, Christianity, we already, and that's the thing, y'all know, y'all been here. Christianity, if you know the Bible so much, the Lord gave Eve the burden of childbearing. I don't know how cows feel. I don't know how an orangutan feels. I don't know how a shark feels giving birth, right? But women go through pain, okay? What is, I have daughters in the air. No, no, no joke. Yeah. You got to be. That's the best way to be. Protective of yourself, your future. Now, this is really on a basic level. And basic meaning, this is everyday. This is the everyday conversation. I'm not even getting into, because I didn't even really get into the thing with Kiki, which is in the same line of everything that I've pretty much been discussing, especially Wendy Williams and stuff like that. It is all intentional. It is the process in which you become solidified in the industry, continue your term in the way that they want to. They, the proverbial they. Thank you. No, pork, so little rice, and green bean action. Well, something. But we shouldn't be encouraging that. Cinderella's, no. Well, because he called you, no. Welcome, guys. Welcome to people. Shakira Ward, welcome. Hello and welcome. Flamboyant and welcome. Happy to have you come and join in the conversation. That's the thing. Heather Marie, hey Sugarfoot. You got to be cautious because people move out here, and that's what I'm realizing. Is that people move out here for themselves, for their own self pleasure, own self gratification, own self gain, all those things. You have to guard yourself from that. Most times you get into a situationship with somebody, it's usually somebody is more invested than the other person. That person is then in turn more liable to be hurt because they have more emotion and investment in the situation. Meanwhile, this other person, and it's guys and girls too, because guys get out here be dicking around with girls be out here dicking around with guys all the time, because she's pretty or she got a big butt or whatever. It ain't because she cooking and things like that. I tell you that. Or know how to balance a checkbook, and that's not why. Girls do it to guys because he got a big dick and he got money or whatever. A nice car. He not going to put you through school. Probably won't even care for your kids. If you got kids and you walking into the relationship. We getting into things for the wrong fucking reasons. Don't even know people's middle names. Javon, shut the fuck up. I'm not in the mood for people. Thank you, Natasha. Like, I'm just, especially, listen, y'all have to forgive me, and hopefully y'all think, I'm not, but some of these comments, and not even in here, but like on the page, and the fact that people just feel entitled to their relationship. Entitled to voice such hateful opinions. Definitely women have more to worry about because that's the thing. They breed young men to be aggressive, drug dealers, irresponsible, and things like that. Meanwhile, women are bred to be damsels in distress. So yeah, if you stroke me right, I might fall right in line or whatever the case may be. But no, you have to. There's a level you have to protect yourself. Protect yourself from wrongdoing. Protect yourself from bold on a keyboard, right? Protect yourself from wrongdoing. Protect yourself from going down a path that you don't want to go down. Everybody don't want kids. Just because you're a woman don't mean you want kids. Just because you're a woman don't mean you want to get married. And that's okay. That's okay. You want to know why? Because there's some heifer out there having 15 kids. She got enough kids for the community. And She's steady popping them out because she feels like it. Kids don't have no contributions to nothing. But because she has 15 kids, they think you need one. It's just not it. That's just not real life. To think everybody want to be pregnant. First of all, to think everybody want to be pregnant. To think everybody wants kids. To think everybody wants that, hey, Liv. To think everybody wants that responsibility. Most times people who don't want kids understand the responsibility of having kids. You just don't pop no kids out, wait for welfare to do what they're going to do, or bust your ass to an extent that you give all yourself away and you have nothing left for yourself because you want to be a good parent for your kids. Being a parent is not synonymous with giving up yourself. And if you don't have that balance, or the ability to have that balance, then that's just not an option. It's not an option. And that's okay. That's okay. You can, boys and girls clubs, you can spend time with your nieces and nephews. You can give to your friends' kids. That's okay. Community. One of my pillars over here at the Kelly Collective. Keke Palmer got just coming into, she's really picking up traction and action. Like ever since she got on Good Morning America and things, like she's been picking up. Yes, Keke Palmer been around a long time, right? But she picking it up, momentum, and that's where she at. The fucking network, huge deal. What makes you think I want to start a network and have a child at home too? And that's the thing. What level of parenting? To be like, oh, I'm gonna be a kid, but I know I can have 15 nannies take care of. Like that's a skewed idea of what you think it's okay for her to have a kid if she's gonna put the kid off on somebody else. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. Then that's how child stars end up on fucking drugs and things like that. Hurt, that sort of thing. Oh, she's got the money and stuff like. If she ain't doing no goddamn if she ain't doing no stem cell research with the umbilical cords to treat lupus like Nick Cannon, and I'm not saying she's about to have 11 kids. I highly doubt she'll have 11 kids. But, girl, no, my nose is down. I'm about to be trying to figure out editors and producers and programming and things like this. I'm trying to figure out what my next movie's going to be. That don't involve a kid. Or this man that she been off and on with when we know she pansexual. And if she had an abortion before, it wasn't her time. It wasn't her interest, and she might have got caught up in a situation. Obviously, she was dilly-dallying with the Trey songs and things like that, so she might have got caught up and did what she needed to do. Ultimately, it wasn't her time. They didn't want her to have a damn kid then. Because then that's the time. That's what I was going to say. Sophomore girl. She was a sophomore. She was a sophomore. I was a senior. She was pregnant with her third kid. Sophomore. Now, in my opinion, she ain't had no business having 3 kids, okay? Yeah, I guess the baby father is some guy who was on Insecure or whatever. And that's listen, okay. And that's, listen, I got to go back anyway. She was pregnant with her third kid. She was her sophomore year, was my senior year. Now, if you want to get, I do think, listen, I'm a Gemini and I can have lots of opinions. I do think it's a good time. If you want to have kids, the earlier the better. Your kids grow up and you have your older years to get everything you need together. Like you just get into your career, you just start to make money, you do better with your money because you're older, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. And your kids are now grown up. You're putting your kids off to high school or grade school or something like that. All of that's fine. Because restarting a cycle at 30, 40, 50, and that's the thing too, our eggs start drying up. Not no celebrity. Freeze her damn eggs. Janet Jackson had the baby at 45. And we talk about celebrity here. Since everybody was talking about she's so established, we ain't talking about no regular Jane who don't have the means to freeze her eggs, or then at 50 years old have the support to, you know what I'm saying, to make it happen. But if you're regular, yes, get your kids out. Get your kids out the way. The only way you can get your kids out the way, in my opinion, is listen, I got them. You got a booty hole too. Only way, if you got the support. If your mother and your grandmother, your uncle and things like that, was she 49? Mother and grandmother, because the baby is about 3, 4, she about 50. Yeah, so maybe. Mother and grandmother is there at home taking care of your kids so that you can then go to work and finish your education and do the things you need to do for yourself, and not just be some stay-at-home child needs system sucking single mother. Okay. Community. All right, this is the response. But at the same time, because you got the support, don't mean you get to burden everybody else with the burden of childbearing. To burden everybody else with that because, like, oh, I know my grandma's gonna watch the baby. Oh, I know my auntie gonna watch the baby. That don't mean you can have more kids. You know, it should be. People really be. It's a skewed out here. Let me see what y'all was saying because I was running my mouth. You said, not my daughter, they opposite, and you proud. You know, you should. Just for the, you know, it's enlightened thinking. And it shouldn't be considered enlightened, but it's like, it's realistic. Kids don't like living in poverty either today. They grow angry over time. What lends to the person newly single raise their children and wants to find a new love baby? What lends to the person newly single raise their children and wants to find a new love baby? I don't know what that means. Rashana Flowers, you had a question mark, honey. What you concerned with? Now, Kiki getting ready for unnecessary drama, and we know what's gonna come. Because shortly after Rihanna had her baby, what they talking about? Oh, ASAP Rocky cheating on a thing, and ASAP with that. When you know, and okay, so they cheating on Beyonce, maybe. Yeah, they cheating on Halle Berry, who knows? Yeah, they cheat on J-Lo, okay, so everybody is able to get cheated on. But we talk about Rihanna here, who not stuck up like a Halle Berry. She not unrelatable like a Beyonce. She's not so, well, she is busy. But she ain't out busy and things like that like J-Lo is. I'm all speculation. But Rihanna seemed like if she down with you, what's the thing is, once we connect, ain't no switching up. Rihanna seemed like she ain't gonna switch the fuck up, especially if she put the time and energy in. My opinion is that ASAP and Rihanna is good friends. And I have a video on that as well. Like if you can't settle down with the Arabian man because you don't want the shit with the Arabian man or the obligations or the requirements that come with having a child with that type of person, have a child with your best friend, because I'm not interested in having no kids with nobody else or even dealing with anybody else. So I have a child with ASAP Rocky because they want me to have a kid. They want me to have a kid. They, the proverbial they. They want me to have a kid. So I will have a kid with ASAP Rocky and we'll do the things. But they say, oh, he's cheating on her. ASAP Rocky was in Barbados carrying all the goddamn bags. Why would he then go around and publicly, same thing with fucking the people over at Good Morning America. Why am I out publicly or even in a position to get caught doing some philandering like that, knowing damn well somebody getting cheated on right now don't got a clue. You don't think a celebrity got the means to move around and not get caught? Talk about be fucking for real. Let's be fucking for real. I watch Kiki on SNL. I have folks saying she's not pregnant. Sweet potato, like that's the girl. We all saw that. What the hell is a stomach then? Although somebody like Lil Nas X did that whole thing with false stomachs to look like. Nigga had the prosthetic, looks like he was 9 months pregnant. Granted, I saw the makeup, airbrushing and things like that. But And they all seem, but that, I think they put a little makeup on it. And I do think she kind of, I don't know, to have that line going down her in the middle of her stomach already. But it looked like she got a little liposuction. It looks like she got a little liposuction stomach. But all those details. The fact is, she don't got no business being pregnant now. Yeah, I hope the girl had a business to help too. I don't know where she is now. She probably had more fucking kids. Hey Queen, the food is good. I'm very excited about it. I cooked it yesterday. I know I told you I was going to be eating seafood today. But I had made me a shoulder last night, so I'm going to eat that. Anybody can get cheated on. The way she's been dressing, I imagine she'd be pretty good as she is. Exactly. Exactly. So what's she, about 4 months, right? 11 minus 4 is, what's 11 minus 4? 8? So that's August. They had her dressing up September, October, November. Like she was huge. Hey Juice. They had her dressing up, you know what I mean? Just getting it started early. Somebody like, somebody said we should be happy she even let us know. You think that's my problem with people. And when you come over here to, hey Star, Kiki 29 years old, talk about she good and grown. Now I'm not far from 29. I like to think I'm closer to 50 than I am to 29, I tell you. But well, she good and grown. Y'all know age ain't nothing but a number, and going down ain't nothing but a thing. Okay. What was I saying? I'm sitting there reading. I can't look at the comments. I have to just finish my thoughts. Getting pregnant, getting big. If she was, tell us, okay, you want to be sure you passed a certain trimester and things like that, which I feel like is a really basic, everyday type thing. I want to get past it before I let people know stuff like that. But you're not taking any of the precautions to not have any type of situation. Red carpets and things like that ain't slow down no events because you got to be seen. There's requirements. And if she didn't want to, we should be thankful. I hated somebody said that. Like people, listen, over here at the collective, we are enlightened thought thinkers, and we are conscious theorizers. Okay. For somebody to say we should be glad she let us know, it's not that serious. It's not that serious because if Keke Palmer didn't want to let us know, she wouldn't have let us know. I.e. Kylie Jenner, who is equally as busy, has these men, and has this black man behind her. In a way, because they don't. I mean, yeah, ASAP. Travis killed the people down at the thing. Okay, but he can still bounce back. She didn't leave him. She never faltered. She stayed by his side. But he ain't out there cheating on her. It's okay. He killed a bunch of 10 people at the damn event, but he ain't cheating on her, so it ain't that bad. Understand? Do you understand? Do you understand? So now Keke pregnant by this man. They've been off and on for a year, allegedly. She got her a pretty Ricky, what they call him. She can't have no dark chocolate man. You understand? Maybe that's not what she's like. Oh, okay. Listen, we done lost so many. We have given up so many of our chocolate people to light skins and whites. Made me think about, we were talking about somebody replacing Wendy. And y'all said Mona. Yeah, it could be Mona. You wanna know why? Because she light. And I like Mona. I like her voice, really. But she light skinned. She palatable to the people. She light skinned and act black. White people love that. Ain't gonna be Tasha K. Jason Lee. Light. Never seen Fred until he was on Wendy Williams show that day. Never seen Fred again. Fred Black. From Media Takeout. Real news. Keke with this light man. A ex-football player. Connected, because his brother's an actor. What the brother look like? Is he darker than him? How old is he? What y'all saying? I'm running my mouth. It seems like she's applying her cocoa butter regularly. I'll give her that. Looked like it had a cross on it. And yes, I know it didn't. It was just a line. Looks like it had a cross on it. And yes, I know it didn't. It was just a line. Oh, the stomach. Well, I mean, listen. You know, we look at it's the devil. Where they say the devil is at? Uh-huh. Still small enough to hide. Sure enough is. But there's a lot of famous people that keep their pregnancies private. Pregnancies? Who? Well, technically, Travis has cheated, but we won't go there today. No, we can go there. Cheated when? First, when Stormy was born, and he been in line ever since. I don't really hear too much about Travis cheating, philandering. Maybe back in the beginning, and we talk about what 4 or 5 years ago. Mona needs some contrast on her hot tea. I do like a rasp. What you mean, Roman? That look fire. Kiki look fire with her first. What you mean by that? Kiki got pregnant with some dude because he looks good. Not pregnant by, and that's the thing too. Kiki not done with her mother managing her mother being around it. My mother, she said, my mother been an influence ever since Aquila and the Bee, things like that, really on. And all that teaching and grooming and stuff like you just give up because the guy is cute. You know how many cute? She was partying with Trey Songz. You know how many cute people Kiki Palmer has been around. And yes, I'm not going to equate a celebrity just like Kylie Jenner. You're not going to talk to Kylie Jenner like she was some regular roundaway 27-year-old from around your block. That's not the same person. That's not the same experience. We discussed this yesterday. It's not the same experience. She don't got the same outlook. She don't have the same perception. She don't have the same requirements and standards that some regular 27-year-old from around the block got. We talk about Keke Palmer been moving and shaking with damn Queen Latifah, the Denzel Washington, moving and shaking. You don't think, first of all, you don't think they're going to impart on her negatively or positively so that she's going to fall for just some light-skinned guy because he has pretty hair? It'd be like, oh yeah, I'm going to... Meanwhile, I'm starting up a network, which I think is like, that's not to be overlooked. Her starting a network. These huge accomplishments, these huge events are happening to her that she's just not... It's not because she's been in the game for 30 years that she's getting this. She is up to age influencing people that people are in the comments like about, oh, I'm so happy for Kiki and I told y'all this months ago. Pregnancy, don't nobody care. People get pregnant, people have kids, people have multiple kids. Don't nobody care. I don't. Maybe it's just me. Oh, I'm so happy for Kiki. Why? Because she had a kid? But that's what, that's the standard. That's the thing. That's what's acceptable. That's what they think when she starts this network. She's going to be basing some type of content on single mothers and whatever. Because she can't possibly have mature, enlightened content with these types of, with the demographic that support her getting pregnant by a light-skinned guy with pretty hair. I don't even think I need quotations for that, because that's what he is. What y'all saying? I'm running my mouth. No, I didn't watch Insecure. Oh, I'm sorry, best friend. It is good. It's good. It's fire. It's pork shoulder. Do you eat pork? I don't look like you eat pork. It might be one of them things. Disappointing Kiki. That's a little, but we need to do this right for us now. Spotlight. That's it. Sweet potato. That's it. That's it. Put her nose down and be like Oprah. In the business sense, because Oprah, we talk about Oprah got some shit with her too. But Oprah, Oprah said, "I'll sacrifice others. You're not gonna sacrifice me," and that's just that. Okay, and I'm not gonna tip. I'm just not. That's where I'm gonna tip my toe and I'm gonna dip back out of that. But put her nose down and get down to Tyra Banks. Put her nose down and get to the business. Kids ain't that. She around kids. Kids is not that special. Kids is not that special for me to be like, well, I have all of this going on career-wise. Everything is actually right now falling into place after putting in all this work and effort. From Lawrence Fishburne to literally my own network. I mean, let me just have a baby in the midst of this. And now she's doing labor and delivery shows. Like, are we going forward or are we going back? Adrienne Bailon kept her secret. Her excitement. Was she even pregnant? Don't nobody care about Adrienne Bailon. Same thing with Jeannie Mai too and all that. So like, don't nobody care about them girls. But they kept it for the show. We have to understand the situation in this setting. I think I might be talking down or dismissing the things, but understand the situation in this setting and understand the individual we're talking about. Don't you think Adrienne Bailon would want Keke Palmer's career? Don't you think she'll be moving and shaking in these movies and then get her own damn network? But no, Adrienne, we need you to do this. We need you to be screwed around, fucked around all of Hollywood, get on this show, and then marry the Christian singer. Jeannie Mai, we need you to cheat on your man. You're a nice white man with a nigga. Lonnie Love been moving and shaking and shitting on people the whole time. Tamara is just secure in her witchcraft. Probably just the glue to keep everything together. A good number, a good age to make it all make sense. And Tamar was supposed to do her own thing, that's why they couldn't keep her there. But it was cute in the beginning. People watched The Real because Tamar was on there. But sometimes a formula works. You get the right drama going on the show, people get invested. You get the right people involved. They involve themselves in everything, especially when they started bringing on those co-hosts. Involved themselves in everything. People couldn't help but watch. They want to know what was going on. That's people. That's the situation. Adrienne Bailon. Ciao. I don't even know how this. I'll get to that later. The woman can imagine Kylie start. Imagine Kylie a side chick. Oh, okay. We should have been. It is. First of all, we realize as we talk about Wendy Williams, as we've discussed. First of all, thank you guys for the likes. You'll do it every time. It's not about wishing the best. It's not about praying. It is what it's going to be. It is what it's going to be. Obviously, her child's going to be taken care of just as much as Nick Cannon and all them damn kids. But people still have something to say. Her child's going to be taken care of. She's where she is because this is where they want her to be. They want her to have a kid. She's having the kid. Everything is still going to go on. Hopefully, as far as wishing her the best, I hope she does maintain the strength and the endurance to push through and doesn't get overwhelmed. That's what I mean by wishing her the best. Not, I think she'll be a great mom. She'll have all the support in the world around her to make sure the child isn't getting into chemicals like TT's son at the damn at Luther's job. Things. It's going to be things like that placed in order so she doesn't fail that sort of way. But she has to keep her own strength, and adding a mother on top of that doesn't make it easy. The father is some guy. He used to be a football player. He's the brother of an actor. He was on Insecure, I guess. Why aren't the fathers there when they announce? And it's funny because Kim um, Kylie made a big deal. Kylie and somebody else made a big deal about naming the kids. Kim made a big deal about Kanye making naming the kids too. And that's, it's just like, but like in black situation, I don't know. I don't know. It's not a double standard. I don't think it's a double standard. What I'm seeing or how it's being played out. But it's just funny that. And it's been funny that, even still. Why people do, and that's the thing. It's like, especially black culture. You want to be first of all, you want your man to slide through the baby shower, especially with these fucking gender reveals. You want your man there too, and that's the thing about doing it for yourself. If I want to let the world know that I'm pregnant, it's going to be me and my significant other, letting the people know, because we're doing this together. The greatest indicator that you're in it with somebody is sharing news together. But it's about Kiki. It's not even about this man. And that's why I was, said what he's this, he's that, he says he's a non-motherfucking factor. Because they'll do away with him so much faster. And then what the people gonna do? Like they're trying to do with damn Tia Mowry. I don't even care what Tia had to say about the dissolution of her marriage. Didn't care. I told you I wouldn't care what Tia had to say. Because Tia's a smart girl too. Been around a long time. She knew Corey was up to, if that's what the narrative is. I told you I'm not prescribing anything she got to say. They knew long ago. But timing and intention. You could have left Corey 2-3 years ago. But no. Then you had to wait till you get all your stuff off the ground. And now this. Well, Corey was always, shut up, Tia. Shut up. Wouldn't hear nothing about Corey. Just see him working. And now he's just all these things. Shut up. Stop watching when camera left. Pen Dog, what's up? Hey, hello. Welcome. Was he in the audience? I don't know. I didn't watch any of it. Connie Jones, welcome. Hello. Thank you, Lisa. Velez. I feel like I did see that. And that again too is like, that's the, you know what I'm saying? This the fabric of the industry. Spark a little interest here, see how it picks up there, see how far we can go with it. Oh yeah, she's definitely been talking. I'm having a pork shoulder, a little rice, and green beans. I did it like a birria. I had blended up the peppers. Blended up the peppers and the seasoning and things. And roasted it. But yeah, Tia's come out. It took her some time to really get it together, what she was going to say, the verbiage. But she's made a couple mentions about it in a sense that I knew my marriage, that sort of thing. Thank you so much. I knew my marriage. She never said, like, Corey was like this. She just said, I knew my marriage. This is what I realized. This I had to, when you just know you have to make decisions for yourself and your mental health. And just so happened, her cooking show, people really starting to take notice of that. It just so happened after the time she started getting on damn TikTok and stuff. Oh, so convenient. It just so happened. And now Keke Palmer just so happened, probably just getting her, I don't want to get too vulgar, but Keke got the hands, okay? And I got to get me a little hand sticker for the game. Keke got the hands. Probably just got her hands out of somebody else with the hands, okay? And now she all up into things in this relationship with this person. And then two, y'all, the pictures that I showed is as romantic as it gets. She really looks like she want to sit in that man's lap, and she toting him along at these events. Are you in love with somebody and you're about to have a kid together? Do you know how same thing I said about Nicki Minaj and that Kenneth Petty, they ain't in no type of romantical situation. And then somebody said about Cardi B, you know, I felt the same. She said I felt the same way about Cardi B. She shouldn't be pregnant. Cardi B, the difference, everything they do with Cardi B is to outshine or put pressure on Nicki Minaj. Period. Nicki Minaj is a nigga. Cardi B is a woman. Okay? Give her a kid. First kid gonna be the daughter. Then Nicki Minaj gonna get pregnant. She gonna have a son. What Cardi B do? Fuck around, get pregnant again, and have a son. She just there to outshine Nicki Minaj. Whether Cardi B want to have kids or not, it is her place to do these things. And as a Puerto Rican, I was telling a friend of mine that Puerto Ricans different cultures do things differently with their kids. And Puerto Ricans are a lot more attentive. They're sometimes over attentive, helicopter, whatever case may be, but they're gonna be there. If I'm cooking, you're there. We eating, you're there. We talking, you're there. So the presence in the relationship with her child is gonna be obvious because it's in her nature. That's in her culture. Nicki Minaj don't hold that boy. She don't talk to that boy. She don't do nothing because that son barely recognize her, barely want to go to her, be holding on to Kenny's ass. But people love it. Oh, Papa Bear and oh, her kid. It's just another level of engagement on the artist. If I have a kid, y'all gonna be all over it. It's just what people do. But does that mean that Cardi B wanna? Does that mean Cardi B wanna focus on her music or go do $1 million event in the backyard of somebody? Girl, if you pay me $1 million, I'm gonna perform on the hood of your car. Okay? I don't know what people get to talking. Beyonce has gotten paid to do. She has gotten paid more to perform for worse. So I don't know how that even is a topic of conversation, but even that is a topic of conversation. Just like when you watch, when you scrolling, shit just be news for no reason. They want to push a narrative of, well, not the narrative, of course, racism exists. But how does somebody's Starbucks order that says monkey on it in Wisconsin make it to global news? How does that happen? How is that even? Why is that on my timeline? I don't give a about what's going on in Wisconsin. I love my baristas at my Starbucks. Don't even start to impart that idea in my head that somebody's liable to do something like that. I'll deal with it when I experience it. Not a moment before. Especially all the way in Wisconsin, and I live in fucking New York. And T and Tamara, you know they are what they are. And you got I don't know, they are what they are as far as liking either one more. Obviously Tia is the black one, Tamara is the lighter one. You know what I'm saying? That sort of thing. And people, you know what I'm saying, feel their way about that like that. But sometimes you have to appreciate the person that's obvious, and not someone who's trying to create the facade. Because Tia wasn't going to get on the talk and start crying and doing things like that. I never thought about it that way. Well, welcome. But yes, you want to for the right time to announce her. Yeah, for sure. I'll come to New York in January to see a play. What is she? Oh, yeah, well, New York. There's so many things. I'm not in New York City, I did live in New York, and there's always something to do. And now you can get on TikTok and you can search things to do and so and do that. In January it's going to be cold, so make sure you bundle up. But I mean, from walking down Fifth Avenue to going to Chinatown, it's always something to do. If you take a day, you could spend all day. First of all, you're going to spend half the day on transit. And if anything, if you open for the experience of getting on the train and experiencing the train, that's one thing you should do. You have to be open to the experience, because it could be a homeless person, it could be pissed, it could be somebody shucking and jiving, acrobats on the poles. You got to be open to that, okay, on the trains in New York City. But that's what you go for, more so than trying to go to a store, or even like people in New York don't go to the Statue of Liberty. People have lived in New York 40, 50 years and never been to the Statue of Liberty. People live in New York, do not go to the Rockefeller tree lighting thing. You know what I'm saying? So those are very much so tourist events. And just getting into the thick of things, going to Bushwick, going to Harlem, and just really experiencing Harlem, are things that I would suggest going to New York and doing. I think I don't do nothing with that baby. She be down in the devil's lair. She could have a kid with that. She could have a kid. Never been to Macy's Parade for New Year's, exactly. Or Thanksgiving. They be annoyed. New Yorkers be annoyed. Love noise, hate the noisy shit. With their all my life, see? Best thing in New York is go to the hood, go to Dumbo, get you a good picture. You got to go to Brooklyn. You have to go to Harlem. If you go to New York, those are the places that you gotta go. And when you get there, you'll know what to do there. Get your hair done. Get your nails done. You know, don't go there with those things done. Go get that. Then you can experience, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. Could be cheaper. That's my thing with Kiki. In summation, yeah, you get your hair done. Authentic, quick, okay? I had the little mohawk, and I got my braids done. I was expecting to pay like $2 something. They charged me like $150, not even. I know I ended up paying. I left them with $200. And there was 3 of them working on my head. Oh, nice. That should be a good time. Probably the hotel rooms is going to be sky high. Sky high. Especially if you're staying in Manhattan. She just got a lot going on, Kiki, and I just don't think a kid I don't think a kid was part of her plan. Same thing with Rihanna. Rihanna's shucking and jiving, okay? Makeup and clothes. And really that alone is all consuming of her time, because what she says is that she's very involved in the process. SKUs and silhouettes, designs, packaging, campaigns, and things like that. It's not the right. She don't got no business, and I'm not either happy or upset about it. She just don't got no business. I have an opinion about it, yes. But like somebody said in the comments, what does her happiness got to do with you? It don't have one single thing to do with me. But is she happy? Oh yeah, on SNL she was smiling. How many times have y'all been smiling and been pissed? all the while. But you didn't have a $10 million contract on your back, which makes you smile even more. Because Nene, I was thinking about Nene. First of all, Nene and Kate, so stoned. Kate, they were wherever that event was. They were in, I don't know, Cincinnati or some shit. Stone face. Then she turned to the cameras and instantly, the smile. You know, I saw a picture of Nene, a video. She was like stone face. She was on a panel or something. She's gonna be doing some type of hosting or something. And the camera, like her makeup artist, somebody was doing a video, and they was like, Nene smile, and instantly, boom, turn the smile on. Like you wouldn't think that she was just sitting there 30 seconds before that, stone faced, not engaged, not involved, or anything like that. But Keke Palmer got these investments in these channels, and they said we need this. We're trying to bring forth the best possible outcome with your network, and this is what it's going to require. Okay, guys. And like we've discussed before, the sacrifices you make to further your own interest. The kid, sure. And then she's going to have 15 nannies. People so happy about her having a kid, but the nannies have the kid. If your grandmama got the baby more than you got the baby, you the grand, whatever, Jocelyn. You know what I'm saying? That. Oh, we so happy for, like Nicki Minaj. So happy Nicki Minaj. Nicki probably held that baby 10 times. In 2 years. Allegedly. That's what I said earlier though, just because you're a woman, that don't mean you want kids. Just because you're a woman, that don't mean you want to get married. Just because you're a woman, don't mean you're going to put up with a man. Just because you're a woman don't mean you're going to be easily influenced by a man. We can't take that idea and have that same projected on everybody else like that. No. Because it take you a pretty light-skinned nigga with good hair to do you wrong. You'd be like, well, fuck that. Fuck this and fuck off. Or a dark-skinned 6'7" with nice abs and broad shoulders. And you'd be like, fuck it all. And you require more. I would think Keke requiring more, being pansexual, that she would want to make public statements with that man. Because now she's like, okay, I finally found somebody. You know what I mean? He is, you know, boom, like he's done these things and he's just, and he's changed. He said he was different and he's different. And, you know, Keke got the ways of saying things, you know? He said he was different and he's different. No. Sit up in the stands. We go to have these. You put these old pictures out. Good for you. Ain't nothing like this. Good for you. But that's just how I feel. Like the people kind of sitting in the comments like, who am I? You know? Who am I? We'll see what happens. We'll see what somebody said. And that's what somebody said. If she can win an Oscar, I think 100% people just get in the comments and be trolling. Yes. Because I think you ever click on a video on TikTok and get into the comments and they be like, what the fuck are you even talking about? Like, it has nothing to do with nothing. And I just think about how people even come to the space in their heads to put those types of words. To be continued, okay? No, I can't have no feelings, no opinions, no thoughts. Nothing. But people get in there and be trolling. One girl was like, she gonna be winning an Oscar pregnant. Bitch, the Oscars ain't for a whole, we just got finished with the Oscars. I won't say a whole nother year because the Oscars is literally like less than 6 months. But And if she had, you know, what we gonna if we're gonna TBC something, let's TBC when she has that baby. That's what's interesting to me. Not her being pregnant, not her having a kid. I'm interested to see when she has that child and what will be going on when she has that child. So y'all stay tuned. Like when Rihanna had her baby on Friday the 13th, and the next day 10 people got shot at the damn Tops in Buffalo. So let's see what's gonna. That's our timeline. That's the point of interest for us here at the collective. Okay. And if I'm gonna take something away from the situation with Rihanna, I thought Rihanna would have a little girl because she said, "I'm gonna have a little girl." Now this was years ago. Okay. She said that. So she gets pregnant. I'm like, okay, she said she's gonna have a girl. She's gonna have a girl because she got the means to choose what type of child she wants to have. This is gonna be my segue. The means to choose what child she's gonna have. Will she end up having a boy? But we're gonna sacrifice first boys. That's how it happens. Most of them have girls the first time. Why? I don't know. How they do that, I don't know. Like Blue and North and stuff like that. Whatever that's for. And then Rihanna has the boy. I wasn't expecting that, but that's what she did. But if I'm gonna take something away from it, Kiki gonna have her a little boy too. But we'll soon see. Cut to picking the kids. Because I watched it was TikTok. Do y'all know? Probably not. Do y'all know when Queen Supreme Court was on with Kaya and T.S. Madison? What was that? I said that's at least 5 years ago, right? Got to be at least 5 years ago, no? We've been in the panoramic for 3. She did her stuff on her show, on her own thing for maybe 2 years. Maybe a year off. So maybe about 5-6 years ago, since she was doing the show with Kaya. What came across my TikTok was, it ended in 2018. What came across my TikTok was, Kaya, like, they sitting there together, and this is the thing. Let me just say this situation. They were sitting there together. When this happened, I'm not exactly sure. But Kaya was like, when did Beyonce, thank you, Brian, did Beyonce have them kids naturally? Did Beyonce have them babies naturally? And T.S. Madison looking at her like, girl, we don't discuss that, girl. We don't talk about things like that. That's not what she was saying. Yeah, about these twins. We don't discuss. T.S. Madison not saying nothing. She's just looking. Kaya steady trying to figure out how did she have it? Did she have the twins naturally? Did she choose them twins like Mariah did? Like Mariah chose her twins? Did she choose her twins like J-Lo chose her twins? Or did she have those twins naturally? T.S. Madison, in line to be conditioned, or had already been conditioned at that point. They just wanted to see how she would fare and how loyal she would be to put her with somebody like Kaya. After watching that, I like it to be somebody like Azealia Banks. Somebody who's in the mix and knows the tea and, just says just enough to, I guess, remain on this earth and functionable. But, and then if you look at it, the status of things, Kaya is above T.S. Madison. She's been around longer. Well, I'm taking into consideration Madison's adult film days. But why is that video popping up suddenly? Because with T.S. Madison and all of this stuff. That's why I said that's why I had to shut that Wendy Williams after show shit down. But I think about it. Even still, publicly, people knew T.S. Madison privately. People knew Kaya publicly, my neck and my back and stuff like that. Put them together. And T.S. Madison is willing to go the distance for the global notoriety. And she's willing to not discuss it. She's willing to kiss Nicki Minaj's ass. She's willing not to discuss Beyonce's. Because what was it to just say, yeah, girl, but don't. And that's what I said. They'll never come. Somebody's probably watching my shit right now. It's like, that London just don't shut the fuck up, But I send a check and I might. But that sort of thing. So for her to even engage in the conversation and want to shut Kaya up, and that's what I'm saying, Kaya is above her status wise at that point, even, well, I mean, longevity, status point at that point, Kaya's above her. And it's like, girl, you're really out here, you know, you're playing around. And even with the Monique thing, she maybe her thing is like, oh, this is all a joke. You know what I mean? And meanwhile, Madison is just like, oh Monique, oh Miss Monique, to the point that kissing ass so much, nose so brown, that she has Monique on her show on Fox Soul. You said it ended in 2018, 2019, 20, 21, 22. 4 years later. The number 4. And to be the catalyst to create peace between her and from that one video. That's my first time seeing that. Do I gather all that? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because who knew then, 4 years later, Beyonce would be sampling T.S. Madison on her album that promotes gay people, which Kaya had something to say about gay people, right? And I want to go back and see. You got to keep your toe in everything. My homeboy asked me if I keep my eye on Hazel-E, and I said, no, I don't. I said, because she really don't be too much in the mix, and I don't watch Love and Hip Hop. But you have to keep your eye on everything. Let me speak for me. I got to keep my eye on everything, because if you miss one thing, you don't see how other things start to thread together. If you watch that T.S. Madison, that thing with T.S. Madison and Kaya talk about the kids, and you don't think that T.S. Madison don't address Beyonce because she knows at some point she'll be working with Beyonce? And if you don't think she knows that because she never discussed that, do you not know how many secrets these celebrities hold? Especially when you watch things like these, if you watch YouTube and stuff like that, they say, I've been working on this so long. I've been working on, with Jeffree Star watching, you know, I've watched many people, Jeffree Star, I've been working on this formula for 2 years. All the while you sitting there shucking and jiving for me on this camera and things like that, I'm thinking everything is kind of like up to date. Meanwhile, you've been cooking on some things. She might not know Beyonce album was going to be called Renaissance, but she might know she might be involved in some capacity. Keep doing what you're doing and we will involve you in some capacity. For T.S. Madison's sample to fit in line with Beyonce didn't orchestrate no album, no song around T.S. Madison's dark brown, beige, fluorescent beige, black, bitch album. She didn't organize the album around that, and it just so happens to fit with tracks that were written, beats that were done 4 or 5 years ago. I think that's what one of them said. One of the producers said. Watch my content profile. T.S. Madison wrote the, maybe she did formulate the whole thing around it, because this is what T.S. Madison, this is where T.S. Madison is, and things like that. But the beat, those beats, let me refresh that or revise that statement. The beats are old. None of that. Most of them beats, a good portion, at least 3 or 4 of them beats from the Renaissance album are from like 3 years ago. Sitting on stuff. Where the fuck are the visuals? Not the right time. Keke Palmer's gonna be popping out a baby, and Kanye West is gonna be. They need to put Kanye West somewhere, and then they're gonna drop some damn visuals. Yes, the Dream Said Thick, 10 years old. You don't think they plan to what you call it, to have this baby? Same thing, drop this movie. No, I watched Nope, and I didn't mind Nope. I still don't know what it was about. And if they give it, I don't even know what that lady was talking about. Keke Palmer gonna be pregnant at the Oscars. Oscars happen in March. They're always switching things up. But we'll see. And I know she ain't gonna win no damn Oscar for Nope. I don't remember what it was. What happened in that? But to my recollection, ever since they gave the damn Oscar to Jennifer Hudson, they just been shuffling them out to anybody, black especially, women preferably. Also, you lost on what, the Oscars, or what you lost on, sis? It's all that. It's all the things that create or put us in the position that we're in right now. And the thing that make the world go round, people are just like, oh, I've always wanted. But one thing I wanted for Kiki, oh no, yeah, and I didn't mind it. Like I watched it, and I was a bit resistant, hence the title, Nope. Hence the a little resistance because Jordan Peele is shucking and jiving. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I was like, well, let me just see, and I didn't mind it. Maybe it was because of Kiki. I think I preferred it. I was completely enveloped in the story in The Sunken Place. I was into that story. And if it weren't for that young man and his comedic relief, the movie would have been a lot heavier than I think people even understand the movie to fucking be. And then make jokes about Kanye's in a sunken place. There was a whole movie that depicted some type of spiritual or ritualistic process that goes through this thing with black people, and it's just like we'll have Jordan Peele make it, and people think he's a comedian, so they won't take it very serious. Yeah, white people, oh, I loved it. Black was like, oh, I didn't watch the show. Same thing with them, the duality of if I make these choices as a black person, I might live this life, and if I do these things as a black person, I might live this life. White people, oh, I love that. But fuck that shit. The movies are not even be received by the same people, by the right people. And then no, Lord, I don't know what the hell happened in Nope. The thing came down and the thing came over the thing. Kiki said, we got to get the fuck out of here, or some shit like that. And I couldn't tell you what the hell happened in that movie. But I didn't mind, like I watched it. I didn't like turn it off or anything like that. Either way, but I highly doubt it was. I highly doubt, from what I do recall, Kiki is worthy of an Oscar from that performance. And like Nene said, I'm not trying to strip anybody of their accolades. But we're in the process of shifting things. Okay. And then we're just giving things because now if we give Keke Palmer the Oscar, we have 23 and younger watching the goddamn Oscars. Especially on the heels of what happened with, hey Cherry Love, thank you, welcome. Especially on the heels of what happened with Will Smith this year. All the young people are going to be trying to see it. They're going to be expect just like a Housewives show. Just like a Love and Hip Hop. Just like a Bad Boy Wives. Be expecting something for next season. The bottom line. Who they're going to have host? I don't know. Kevin Hart. Wasn't even there last year. Didn't hear from Kevin Hart for like 4 or 5 months after the damn event. But somebody interesting enough to keep the young people interested. Accolades, yes. I don't want to take. I'm not stripping nobody of their accolades. But what is an Oscar? What is an Oscar? You give it to Halle Berry for being naked with a white man. You give it to Mamie Anderson, whatever that lady's name is, for being, they had to give something to somebody at that time, a black movie. Chris Rock does. Listen, I just watched a movie with Chris Rock. It was Chris Rock, Taylor Swift, Denzel's son, Christian Bale. I don't know the name of it, but it was corny. I couldn't watch that. Margot Robbie. It just didn't grab me. But, and Chris Rock too, just a shuck it, just a shucking and a jiving for relevance and to further the story, because we can't have Will Smith smack anybody young, We need to have him smack somebody older. And I keep telling young guys, if you believe Will Smith really slapped that man, put a thumbs up in the comments. That's what I want you. If you think Will Smith really slapped that man, put a thumbs up in the comments. And if you don't think Will Smith really slapped that man, put a high five in the comments. Y'all not gonna do either or, but I just want to see what the people say. If you think he really slapped him, put a thumbs up. And if you don't think he really slapped him, put a high five. I don't care which colors y'all use. Speaking of colors, that's a high five. Oh, Queen, put a thumbs up. We got a 1 thumbs up, but we got a 1 high five. I got my update yesterday on my update. Well, I did get it yesterday. We got another thumbs up, 2 thumbs up, 1 high five. Not a fist. You not? What you in the middle? What you on the fence? I got an update on my phone yesterday, so yes, another high five, 2 high fives, 2 thumbs up, and a fist. Hey, Kimba, the day was all right. I just finished eating. I'm about to go back in again. Kimba, let me know. Put a thumbs up if you think Will Smith really smacked Chris Rock, and put a high five if you don't believe it to be self-evident. Another high five. I love y'all for y'all engagement. Thank you so much. I'm gonna let y'all know once y'all say. We got 1, 2, 3 high fives so far. 2 thumbs up, and that fist is taking me out. The fist is taking me out. A high five. Do we have any more? Are there any more engagement comments? What do y'all think? Thumbs up if you think he really slapped him. High five if you think it was a light performance. Dinner time performance theater. He slapped him. Chris ain't that good of an actor. Will would have knocked him up. Now, boom. So now I'm going to say it because you didn't say it. Sunshine, sunshine. Will Smith just got a different Apple TV to do his show. Another high five. Totally staged. Sunshine, sunshine. That's it right there. I said that last time we talked about it. And I even looked up the heights. Will Smith, 6'2" years old. 6'2" years old. Child, that's too many things together. Will Smith is 6'2" tall. 220 pounds. At the very least. Because I'm 200 pounds and I'm 6 feet tall. Will Smith got the weight on him. And he had a good suit on him. Chris Rock, 5'9". 195. Maybe. Chris thin. You done piss me off. First of all, I'm not going up there engaging my slap, especially with the follow through that they did. You know what I mean? There's such a follow through. He would have knocked that man right into fucking Denzel and his wife in the front row if he went up there and slapped him like that. And the thing is, too, yes, I'm here to stage my. First of all, die on my heels, and give you some context as to why. Only 175, 180, yeah. Give you the context of why, and then give you the way they play it, or the way they keep showing it, and people still don't see it. Even in the images, if you slap somebody, you know somebody's face is, you know what I'm saying, turn. Chris's face is only like, you know, that sort of thing, like a flinch. And even if you, first of all, you could watch it back. I think it's in my Iconic Moments playlist. Iconic Moments. You play it back. Chris braces himself. Not like that's another thing. Chris braces himself because yes, he's not a good actor. He's not the best actor, but he's been in movies. He is well equipped to act that type of performance theater out, right? So that's what happened. That's what they did. If Will really would have wanted to hurt him, I think if anything, he would have done it after the show, and he would have dealt with Chris. I think Will would have done it man to man. Will been in the game a long time. I'm not about to get up here and embarrass myself off of emotion He would have been swollen. It would have been a thing. It would have been a thing. It would have been a whole thing. Will hand bigger than mine. It would have been a thing. Will Smith not going to embarrass himself in front of people like that. He's been working with them people for a long time, and that more so than Chris Rock has. Okay? He would have knocked him down to that ground. If Will Smith was really coming at him to aggregate him, Chris would have ran. He would have, at least Chris didn't move his feet. He didn't move a foot. You got this 6'2", 225-pound man coming at you. And then the icing on the cake for me was, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. Now, Will. Now, Will. Now, come on now. Now, come on now, Will. Exactly. The golden boy. What y'all saying I was running my mouth? Y'all got to make sure y'all get y'all subscriptions. That's the same celebrity man gave him in that movie when they played president. Ooh, how about that? So he had already been briefed on what to do. Plain and simple, that was the whole thing. Yeah, who let you slap him like that? Just he didn't walk up the whole runway. Up to him. At least 10 feet between them. Chris didn't move one time. What he said, uh-oh. He would have been like, whoa, what are you doing? Now that's the bad acting. Well, what's going on? What's happening? But he would have moved. But then that would have thrown off, you got to cue yourself up. You know what I'm saying? Here's your marks. Will's going to walk up to you like this. You know what I mean? And that's just going to do. They probably rehearsed separately so that it seemed a bit more organic. Playing with us. And you know how they're playing with us too? And now, listen, people, I don't know what people are going to say. Spice come out of her coma after being septic, not from, well, she didn't never really address the BBL. She comes out of that and talks about this album that she's putting out called Emancipated. Will Smith goes on tour in the same damn month to promote his movie called Emancipation. I just don't, you can't really make these things up. There's more words and there's more phrases and titles to use than. Now, what Spice got to do with Will Smith, I don't really know. But if we talking lineage and islands and things like that, then yeah, we might have to consider the history of things. What I'm saying is they drummed up drama for the Oscars because the ratings have been going down so severely. And the best people to use for that sort of thing is Chris Rock, who is equally received, and Will Smith, who people have grown up with. Black people. It's all about the bottom line. Bernie was a big man, and that's why they had to take a. See, I'd be devastated about Bernie. I just recently stopped taking a moment. I still take a moment, but I would take a moment of silence every time I heard his name, thought about Bernie Mac. I would just take a moment, because ain't no way we shouldn't have our Bernie Mac with us. Okay, Joan Rivers and Bernie Mac. Well, what did that person say? I didn't even see what the person said. Joan Rivers and Bernie Mac shook me. And I'm not shaking easily. The camera angle, everything. Even with the pictures, even what you call it. Everybody was in on it. That's why I call it performance theater. It's everybody, we're gonna do a little bit, We're gonna do a little bit. The whole show was a bit. Every single even when after getting damn P. Diddy up there after that, just another black face, you know what I mean? To like, oh, Oscars gone black. Regina Hall hosting, or whatever they did, that type of hosting thing. Wanda Sykes, all that sort of thing. when the Oscars ain't never been that black. I used to watch the Oscars. I like the red carpet, so I would, tune a little bit. Then it really got left and things like that. But that was the intention behind it. But everybody was in on it. Getting Lupita Nyong'o. Oh, did you know what is? Did you know what it's like to really see somebody slap somebody? Your face drops. Your mouth is